Uncle Ron stuff. Today is the 27th of December, and before I forget, I need to make people aware, which they probably already are, but Duracell batteries have started, they leak. I don't know what you call it that they leak, but here you can, hard to see, but you see that mark on the top of this is the negative side. That is whatever stuff is inside here is leaking out and turning green. And that one's not so bad, but you can still see. Anyway, they leak. My point being was when I was a kid growing up, all batteries leaked, and they could ruin uh, any kind of battery powered device if you left the batteries in there too long because it would corrode the connecting whatever it was, a piece of metal or springs or whatever, and then you'd have to try to scrape. This one's particularly green. I just don't know if you can see it, but it's all green around here. It's been leaking around this edge. Anyway, when they leak like that, it I'll call it corrosion. I don't know what you want to call it. Whatever mechanism is connected to the battery. Usually, it's a spring on the big flat side and a piece of metal, um, maybe a springy piece of metal on the positive side of the battery. But I don't see any leakage from the positive side. Of course, it's sealed up pretty well, but down here, you see the outer right, it's leaking around this shell here. Anyway, the point being is they start leaking, I think, before they're dead. And that's a problem because if you wait until the whatever it is it's, these things are powering is dead, then when you pull these out, you might have corrosion on the contacts in the device, and you have to take either fingernail file or something and clean those up to make the battery work again. I had that case today when I was changing batteries in a lot of deadbolt locks that I have that are keypad, and one of them particularly was really bad. I had to clean the wires, and especially where it made, they're all connected in a series, if you will, to get four of them, get you 6 volts something. Yeah, and this green one here was just, it had corroded the wire that touched it so bad that wasn't making contact. It wasn't letting current go through. Anyway, this is a Duracell, as you can see, and I like Duracells. I thought I did, but I have noticed they leak. So I don't know what I'm telling you, except if you have a device, these are supposed to be good till 2030. And the fact that I drain them down, in a year or two, that's not my issue. I'm okay with that. It's the fact that they leak at all. They for a long time, like I say, in the 1950s and early 1960s, every battery leaked like this. This was normal, and you had to be careful or it ruined the device. But in the 70s or 80s or 90s, none of the batteries leaked. It was really good. They didn't, they would be dead, but at least they weren't corroding up all the electricals inside. All of a sudden, and I've been doing Duracell for 20 years probably. It's only been in the last 5 years, I think, that I've started noticing that they leak. Whatever they're using in here, it's not sealed up properly or something, and it corrodes up the terminals into your device. So I don't know what I'm saying, who makes the schedule about battery replacement other than me, but anyway, be careful. these can ruin a device that you have them in. If they sit in there too long, you simply forget about them. You know, you have something you don't use very often, take the batteries out of it. That's the best thing. I have a headlight that I sometimes use for close-up work, and I have discovered sometimes I don't use it for 2 years at a time, and I've discovered I have to take the batteries out of it, or the little batteries like this will leak and corrode the connections, such that I have to work like the dickens to get it to work again because the headlight connections have been mucked up by leakage. That's enough for today. This is about leaky. These happens to be double A's, but you'll find the same thing on the triple A's. I have not seen it on the 9 volts, but on the type that has this seal at the bottom here, that's where they're leaking. Enough of that. This is Uncle Ron and stuff. Today is the 27th of December, 2024. I hope you have a good new year, and watch out for your batteries.